We're fucking doing it, dude. Yeah. So basically, it's just be like, just talk about whatever, and then at some point we'll just try and do a sketch. And we don't have an audience now, so we won't get suggestions to do space or whatever. We can just use this random word generator I fucking got. And maybe I don't know, maybe improv to nobody is actually worse now that I think about it out loud, but I don't actually fucking care either. I picked the worst time to do this. I have a dishwasher going off in the background. I just got heat back in the building. It was the whole building lost heat. I woke up and it was fucking 50 degrees in my apartment, dude.
Oh my God.
Dude, it was fucking, I mean, it's winter. I live in Nebraska. I don't know. What's the coldest it gets in Las Vegas?
It's 46 and sunny right now.
It's like fucking 2 degrees outside. It's awful. I went outside like with 2 jackets on just to take the trash out. It's fun. I mean, that wind here is fucking brutal. But like, yeah, I had because I was like about to light a chair on fire. It was so fucking cold. And I thought it was just our unit. I had it like blasting and it wasn't working. I was like, fuck, I don't want to call my landlord for literally any reason. I just want to smoke weed. And so I had candles lit and I had my hands like over the candles, like the most hipster, like fucking douche in the woods, just like, oh, at least it smells like peppermint in this disaster. I like that. Did you mute yourself while you coughed? You're a fucking professional.
No, I didn't.
It just
yeah. What if I just could master fake silent coughing?
Yeah, it's like your one skill in like puppetry.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like
it comes out of my asshole. We could work on that. Maybe that could be like how the show like devolves like immediately.
Definitely.
You cough, I fart. You throw up, I shit.
So you were saying we'll never be in space for the improv anymore. Like, but what if we want to be in like Arkansas or something? Is it not? It's not okay as well.
Well, I mean, technically anywhere is in space when you think about it, which I often do. But I don't know. Like, what do you think is the don't you feel like whenever we kick it to the audience and be like, and where are we for this? They're either like Alabama or like a spaceship.
Well, I mean, after the 45 seconds of silence.
Oh, yeah, when I'm like, please give us a suggestion. Yeah, suggestion. Fuck, I can't talk. Whatever, we'll work on all those things.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, oftentimes I've been surprised that the audience has even been able to spell as well as they have when they've typed things into the chat.
I do like having the little Zoom chat as like a cheat sheet. So, because it's like, man, can you imagine not having that? That's going to be tough. I don't want to remember all the things.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking stupid. I mean, I got this at a thrift store the other day, and I feel like I should have got this like fucking years ago, honestly. Absolutely. Because otherwise I would have to lean forward. Now I'm just like getting a different type of bad posture. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, for real.
It's a wireless mouse, if you didn't know what that was. You're just like, why does Brian have one of those vibrating eggs for his clit? Be like, yeah, dude. I'm feeling empowered. This is empowerment right here, Kirk, all right? I'm a comedian. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about anything. I just feel like we were just at what would you call the thing we just went to? We were like, let's go to that and like use that as like a way to do a set. I want to hear how you describe it.
I mean, it was a hang.
How was it advertised?
As a mic.
Pop up hang.
pop-up mic
smoke,
thing.
whatever. We were like,
Drum
yeah,
sets.
which is often what we will do, and then call it a show. But it's more of like, yeah, like definitely a warm up, at least to get the blood flowing, just to, especially if you're gonna just do a fucking conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But then what was it?
Well, there was that one point where that woman jumped in there and just started kind of trying to take control of the entire room, and I mean,
Yeah.
telling telling everybody what to do and whatnot. But
What'd she say? What were things she was telling people to do?
I don't know. You were there. I mean, this might have been when you walked away briefly when you were fixing the noise from the dishwasher. But yeah, she just jumped in there and was saying just stuff like men aren't funny, and I mean, where my ladies at? Like, knowing that there weren't any women in the room, she kept asking just where my ladies at. Like,
I thought I heard something like that. I thought I heard like someone go like, "Who's fucking tonight?" And then
yeah,
you going, "Who?" And I was like, "Okay." It
exactly.
seemed
Yeah.
like a very like funny bit,
I mean,
little comedy skit.
it was the funniest thing that happened during the whole time we were
Yeah.
all in the room
I
together.
didn't know it was an open mic. I thought we were watching our friend wander around an empty log cabin.
I mean,
But
essentially,
apparently
that's
there
what
was a
it was.
ghost there,
That's yeah, I think
or
so.
someone walked away and talked shit about me, or all men.
I don't know. Yeah, he was talking on the phone for a bit too.
He did take a few phone calls, which I thought was funny. Then he made us the host of the Zoom, and this is in all seriousness. And then I was like, "Let's record." And then he came back, and then I was like, "All right, well, would you want to record with us?" And then he got another phone call. I know the dishwasher's making noise. It's fucking like it sounds like a fucking old school ambulance in fucking Warsaw right now.
It isn't.
It isn't. He's lying. He's like, I just like it sounds like bubbles and fucking someone pissing. And he's like, well, I don't know. I think we both quit comedy recently, right? When did you quit?
On September 7th, when I was sitting on the stairs after breaking my knee.
Oh, so you were just like,
I felt like that was God telling me that not
yeah.
only should you not do stand-up comedy, you shouldn't stand for a while also.
Yeah, you shouldn't do the stand-up part, let alone comedy. Interesting. Yeah, you like legit shattered your fucking knee.
I did.
But you're walking now, so like pretty soon you're gonna be doing all these like physical comedy. You're not gonna go back to comedy and being like pacing like Chris Rock, like pulling the cord, Dane Cook doing like Sebastian Maniscalco, like making hand gestures that don't fucking add up.
No, I've decided I'm gonna make a smooth transition into pratfalling. Like just every time I leave the stage, it'll just be accidentally missing the first step. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I'm not going to do comedy anymore, but I do want to get into like what Chappelle has been doing lately, and that's sitting down and smoking a cigarette. I think I can do that.
I think
I'm ready
call
to
it a performance, and you're good.
Yeah, I think I'm willing to charge at least $150 for me to just smoke a butt and just like mutter shit about how I've been like kind of personally wronged and have nothing to do with it. My own circumstances and hills I'm willing to die on. Not comedy though.
I just don't really care if Chappelle brings up whoever he brings up on stage.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not talking about like getting it. I mean, the pleasure of using SNL as an open mic spot. That's fucking dope. I'm not knocking that. I'm talking about the subgenre or whatever he has created. The cigarettes. I like cigarettes. I'm trying to get Big Tobacco to sponsor this show. I think that would be cool, right?
It would.
Is it like they're not allowed to do? I know they can do magazines still, but like. They didn't say anything about bad improv shows.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's a loophole.
Yeah. Because like normally when we do improv, I don't think we've ever gauged their laughter or their interest on when to stop the scene. I think we just get bored immediately and stop then. Wouldn't you say? So I don't think we never needed the audience.
I mean, the audience was always great, in my opinion.
Oh.
But when I say that, I'm exclusively referencing Caroline Clancy.
Oh, well, obviously, I can't, like, she's the most supportive human being ever.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, dude. I've seen, like, Ham doing, like, jokes about, like, anal, and her mom give her, like, a standing ovation. I'm like, I wish my parents loved me even, like, a fucking fourth of that. Like, the one time my dad came to see me do stand-up, it was in my yard, which was, it's bigger than his. I mean, I'm not, literally, it's a dick measuring contest at that point, but then he goes, does this cost money?
Did you charge your dad for barking?
For parking? No, I didn't charge him anything because I was like, I don't think he can swing it, honestly. He can't afford $150 to watch me smoke a cigarette in my own fucking yard. To say why the pandemic is affecting me and Dave Chappelle just as equally. The playing field's finally even, and I'm looking at my bank account like I have even as many commas as he does. Yeah, I was my eyes are open now that there is no comedy. There never was. I don't know. I quit Zoom comedy recently, and I was still doing improv with you, but then I recently rejoined Zoom yesterday to announce I was quitting comedy. I think I accidentally quit comedy while re-entering Zoom comedy. And then I will say not manically was like, hey, what if we just record this instead of live streaming it for 4 people and Caroline?
Mm-hmm.
More or less, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a better idea. And I think this, and just recording it like this, then I don't have to explain it ever again. Because then if it's like, if you didn't watch the first 11 fucking minutes of it, then I don't have anything to say to you. Watch a TikTok video about, I don't know. I don't even know what's on TikTok. I tried.
I can't get into TikTok at all. Just at all.
No, I tried with that character Dave Piss, and
I don't.
One video's been like getting a lot of likes lately, so I've just been getting notifications, and I'm like, don't make me check it. And then I do finally, and it's just like the one where I'm like, how to make a hot dog, and I'm like, ugh. And then another one where it's like, I don't even know. I don't even fucking know, dude. I don't know. And then I was like trying to even explain to my producer at like Public Access and Chill like this and like all the other things I wanted to do, and like the 5th time explaining it to him, like showing him the setup and like things I wanted, and he's like, oh, these are like real things. And I'm like, yes, I'm not trolling everybody right now. I swear to God. I'm like, let's just do it. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. I don't know. But either way, I was like, I can't anymore. But then doing Zoom comedy really made me remember what I loved about it. I think I said it in the mic and storytelling thing that we were at, which was basically an excuse for people not to be fucking funny. But were we talking about that off camera? Whatever. I don't give a fuck. We went to a storytelling, and I said storytelling comedy is just comedy without punchlines. And I asked someone that does storytelling in most
that
of
wasn't.
I fucking mean that.
That wasn't even what we were talking about. When you
not even that mic specifically, but like there was that. There's always. When storytelling is always an option, that's always like that, like the aura of like that cop out, like to lie to yourself, like why it didn't go up, like because it was a story that I'm trying to work on, and it's like I understand you need to say things out loud because we can't like do acoustic comedy like for nobody as practice. You have to have the like. Well, we're gonna. We'll see. You know what I mean? Because like, we intend to put this out so then there is the audience later. But oh my god, this is just the tragedy, and then like audience is the plus time to this formula. You know what I'm saying?
Before you get too much further, I was specifically talking about one specific comic that I know from the vast world of Zoom comedy who not only calls themselves a story type of comedian, but then they do the unfunny story over and over and over again, like it's the finished product. So it's not like you were about to give them a little like way out where maybe they're still just working on it. At open mics, it's harder. It's like, no, it's done. It's just not funny. But that's
I
all.
get what you're saying, because your complaint was with a person and my complaint was with the genre, I guess.
Yeah. Totally.
But also, yeah, like for sure, because I said like a lot of things. I said like also at that thing, because my whole set was just basically complaining about why comedy's fucking stupid. And like one of the things I said is like, you'll watch this fucking comedian work on like a joke that's like, I don't know, saying a inappropriate hip hop song to children, and they'll just work on that joke for 10 years and they'll just keep changing the song, but they'll just never consider the joke fucking sucks. It's like, it's counterintuitive. And then I'm like, also like comedians are just cynical fucking assholes that just go to open mics to just watch each other do poorly instead of like work on their own bullshit, because it's also like trying to fix other people's problems and work on yourself, but also just like in all the toxic ways. But I mean, like, I also don't go to open mics like that enough to be like involved in an open mic community where it's like we are, because that's not what it is.
I don't pay attention enough to any of my fellow open micers sets at open mics to even be accused of going there to watch people bomb. Like, I don't fucking pay attention to people's sets unless someone specifically asks me, like, for a specific reason. Like, I mean, it's, I'm outside fucking smoking bowls, smoking cigarettes, like hanging out. I'm not there to watch comedy. Fucking kill me. I'm there to do 5 minutes occasionally, like, and sometimes just stand around for 45 minutes and realizing that it's going to be another hour and a half till they get to your sweet spot of number 25 on the list. And then you just casually walk over and cross your name off the list because you have some respect for the arts and the venue and
some respect for the art
and the host. Overall,
the person that should not have any.
The least I can contribute to the scene is having the goddamn to cross my name off that list if I'm gonna leave, so that the fucking host isn't up there like, hey, well, this next guy's pretty funny. We don't see him that often, but good to have him up here, Kirk Broussard. And then I get claps, and then nobody. I'm not there. Has anybody seen Kirk? No, maybe like no. I owe it. I owe it at least that scratch through on the list.
Did I ever tell you about Meatball Marie? A thing Ham and I used to do.
No.
You'll love this, dude. Holy shit! I can't believe I've never told. We haven't told like anyone this actually.
Did you say Meatball Marie as in calendars? Marie calendars?
No. There's no last name. Just Meatball Marie. So we ran an open mic. I did it for like a really long time. Then we got together and then we co-ran it, obviously. And every once in a blue moon, I would just put this name on the open mic list named Meatball Marie. And it'd be like 7th, 8th. And then like I'd get to it and I'd be like, all right, come on the stage. She's very funny. Make some noise. I haven't seen her in a while. Meatball Marie. And I'd be all like, where is he? Meatball, I'd pretend like I didn't know where she was. And we never told anybody locally about this. And we would like describe her, be like, has anyone seen her? She's like an older lady. She's like 5'2", brown hair, and people like, oh, I think I maybe saw her like out back. And then I'd be like, can someone check? Like going once, going to, and then I'd be like, all right, that was it. And then I just,
oh my God. Those are
it's really fun.
Yeah, sometimes those are the best jokes too, where they're just specifically inside jokes. that like only you and like him
When
ever?
I first started comedy, I would do shit like that too. I would like enter content. My email was under like a fake name because I had created it. I didn't have social media until I'd already been doing comedy for like a year. So my original email address was like under some like weird fucking name. So like people would just like assume that was my name. So like if I was doing like a comedy contest and I was like not sure I would be there, I would use that name. In fact, I never showed up one time when I signed up under that name. I did a few sets under that name. There's an open mic because it ended up being a character I made up. Because I've always like been like, I'm gonna just do this character. Because like also whatever. I don't know. So that was like a thing. But that was really fun. Like the Meatball Marie was always like a really funny and like I can't even say character because it was just like this prank we would pull just to see people like make like what would people say. Like people like, I think I saw her. Like I remember her. She used to do that. Like be like, yeah. She's like Italian. It was really funny. We did it like a few times because you can't do that shit like all the time. It has to be like no one even really remembers it or was even there the other time you did it type shit. Because then it's like this organic like. I feel like she did this like 8 months ago, and then you act like offended, and it just like bums the mood out. And it's just you like laughing like later, like hours later, or never being like, "Hey, remember when I did that?" And I was like, "Oh,
The best thing
I
move
think the
I've
dishwasher's
ever
done.
Nice. The best move I've ever pulled like that, where it was just an inside joke specifically that I got to laugh at, like 3 weeks later, was when I told my coworker here in town at the Palm, which is inside a mall attached to Caesars. It's in the Forum Shops. And we were setting up the patio, and so there's big kiosks in the middle of the mall that they set up occasionally and swap them out for different things. And they'll have like the giant Chinese New Year dragon will be out there in front of our restaurant. Like it was a prime location.
Nice.
So we were setting up the patio together at one point before we opened for lunch, and it was all walled off with a big barricade, like they were setting up something big. And Tay was like,
they built a wall.
Yeah, not at all.
They're right there.
The construction hiding what was behind it.
Yeah.
But anyways, Tay was like, I wonder what's going in right there. And I was just very casually, a good liar. It's where improv works. But I was very casually was like, oh, you didn't see on the news? David Blaine's doing his new magic trick right there. Like it's called like it's a peanut Blaine and butter, I think is what or peanut Blaine and jelly, I think is what I might have told her. He's going to be in a suspended in
right there. It's like such it was believable until that, but that's so funny.
No, just casually saying something along those lines, and she's just then I didn't say I was kidding, nothing. She just thought about it, and I guess we finished setting up the patio. A couple of weeks later, I get a text from her when I'm off that day. She's setting up the patio again, and it's a picture of the Rolex stand that has just popped up. Pop up little Rolex for the Rolex shop. And it was just a picture of that, and like maybe like motherfucker. And that was when I got the laugh that I'd forgotten 100% forgotten about it at that point. And I was like, oh yeah, that was good one, Kirk. Good one.
That's funny. That's the long lasting ones. The ones where you get yourself.
Just
end. You're like, you know what? Maybe I am cut out for this shit after all. Well,
we can edit that burp out in post.
In fact, I think we should make it louder or like add more.
We could also just make a delay effect on it.
Oh, we can just do it like I keep doing it over that whole last story you just told, maybe, or something. That'd be cool. I think that'd make it more interesting.
Absolutely.
No, fucking all right. I keep being like, maybe we should try and do improv, but I'm like, every time I think that, I'm like, that might fuck everything up. So do you want to try and do improv and just fuck everything up? Probably.
We could talk about a documentary I watched that's based in Lincoln, Nebraska
Oh
recently.
God, why? What is the documentary about?
Called Mind Over Murder, I think.
God, is someone gonna murder me? Please. At least we'll get fucking viewership. Just at least make
Uh,
sure you set up the Patreon right.
no, it was an HBO documentary I watched a couple
About
days.
Lincoln?
Yeah, about what's the other super small town where it happened? Be
Beatrice?
Beatrice.
It's
Totally.
spelled Beatrice, but they say it
Yeah,
wrong here.
yeah,
Yeah, dude.
Beatrice. And it's
Dude,
the
that was one of the weird quirks about moving to Nebraska, and they like brag about it. And there's another town where our friend Tyler, also last name hard to say, Weisler, fucking lives. Norfolk, that's spelled two different ways because again, they don't know how to like. That's the flex in Nebraska is they don't know how to say or spell their towns,
yeah.
and they're like very proud of that. And I'm like, cool.
But
Like at
yeah,
least libertarians meet on Wednesdays at the Big Red Kino.
it painted an entirely different picture of the kind of restaurant specifically, because that's my frame of reference.
Yeah.
The kind of restaurant clientele that you used to deal with at the TAM and whatnot, and that your lovely wife currently deals with, even at one of the nicer joints, like a
So if
lot
I had to guess, then
of
someone murders someone over
just
ranch dressing.
some, I mean, just and even some of the people in charge of things in these the documentaries, like government type of people, just seem a little dumb, like a little,
Oh
like wow,
yeah, dude.
just a little wow, yeah.
I have a huge. How do I want to word this? Superiority complex here. I feel like I'm smarter than everybody, and I'm like, no, that's wrong. I shouldn't do that. And then I'm like, no, wait, I am. Like it's like a flip flop on that, like constant.
You find it hard to get that point across though, like on the in between fade, the fade out of Staying Alive and the fade in of Play That Funky Music at the wedding. It's like you try and tell people in between songs, it's like, hey, I'm smarter than all of y'all, let's keep
It's
on
not even
jamming.
that.
Like that funky music, white boy.
It's like I'm saying like I'm the smartest person in the room, and it's me, a dog, and someone's like asleep, not wearing a shirt, and I'm like I'm the smartest person in the room. It's like good for you. Like it's the ultimate like do you want a cookie situation. Like yeah. Let's try improv. I got the random word generator. It can't hurt. I'm gonna
All
do
right.
Let's do it. Because look at this. I'm not using these words, but we can do 10 up to 10 with this one. So let's just
Ten's a
see how
lot,
easy. Hold on.
but
Okay, got it.
I used to work at a pawn shop. Like, fuck, how old was I? It's like 19. It
Are
was
we starting? Yeah, okay, yeah. You worked at a pawn shop when you were 19.
yeah. I used to work at a pawn shop when I was 19, and my fucking boss Rob was just an asshole. Like, I
Mm.
mean, I mean, I not like your normal type of asshole, like just a jerk to work for, but like you would show up and like I've played guitar for 30 years. I played guitar at that point. I was already pretty good at it. And he would try and like teach me things about the guitars in the shop that we would be selling. Like it was fucking ridiculous. It was like I feel like this was like even predating mansplaining, like to a degree. Like
Mansplaining?
it's like, yeah,
What is
yeah, yeah.
that? Is that like some sort of, is that like Scientology or something? I never heard it, like an ideology.
Yeah, it's very similar. It's very similar.
Ow.
I think it was like L. Ron Dullard, I think, is
I don't think that's
person
what his name is.
who invented it. Yeah, no, it's just where if you're obviously smarter than someone with something, you should explain it. Like, and especially if you're a dude, like that's how I interpret it.
You interpret it. I just
Yeah,
never heard the term before. Sorry, I was trying to listen to you. Like, I was shaping my fucking eyebrows, and I have this huge cut. Like, I took a chunk out. I feel like it's gonna get infected, honestly. But yeah, no. So I don't know. Like, I don't feel the need to like. So like, why? What made you leave the guitar thing? Sorry, I really cut. Am I like bleeding? I feel like I can actually see it. You see it?
no,
Yeah, it's gonna get infected. It doesn't matter. Sorry, I lost my mind. I was trying to. Why'd you leave the guitar place? It seems like a good spot. You could just sit there. It's like a good home base. You could just chill, learn guitar. I mean, that's literally like the fucking life, dude. It's just like anyone comes in, you flip them the fucking bird, and they just fuck off. Like,
no, I got fired because we got like an old school Xerox machine in there, and I just photocopied my dick and put it on the poster on the wall.
that's funny though.
Said wanted, have you seen this man? And it was just my dick. I mean, I had a giant bush at this point. Too.
What if it's like hot ladies like I want to see that.
Oh, there was the tear off little
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I
with
imagine.
my number on it. Yeah, with my number. Call if you have seen or would like to see this man. And that's
people like
fired for
picture like some sweet old lady. She has to like put on her reading glasses. She's like,
oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, some of the phone calls I got, they were not young women. I mean, I was 19 at the time, so I was up.
Some of them were like, what was the oldest?
68, 67, something. I forget how old Gladys was.
How in 19? How would they like a beeper?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, beat me.
Yeah, it was beep me, or I mean, I would have them. Sometimes my mom would take messages for me, and she'd send me a 911 on my pager, and that's how I would know that I had a date waiting.
That's what she would do. She'd be like, "Hey, I left some leftovers for you," and also like,
exactly.
Someone inquired about the fucking penis picture.
Yeah, I would stop by my mom's place and just pick up something leftovers and check my messages.
I get it.
Yeah,
I think
it's kind of a home base type of thing is kind of how I thought of my mom's place, even though I was moved out at this point. But yeah.
You were moved out, but your mom was doing it?
Yeah.
Why not just get like a...
Well, no, she had retired.
Like a parakeet, a bird or something like that.
Oh, well, no, I mean, this was like, like she was well into her kind of dementia, I guess, is a nice way to say it. So she had been a secretary for the last 30 years of her life.
So and what, so you just wanted to use her like some fucking pawn or something though?
Yeah, so I just had all my phone calls forwarded to her.
I don't think that's what they mean by pawn shop.
What?
Never mind. It was a joke. Tried to make a joke.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear it.
No, that's okay. No, you're saying how you were using your mother with dementia to take her penis calls?
I don't know. It's yeah. No, I mean, she was a great secretary. As long as she wrote it down, she'd remember it.
It's kind of like you're like listening to like a Seinfeld thing, and you're like, man, all this could have been solved with like a cell phone. I feel like all this could have been avoided with a nice, effective, well-targeted marketing campaign for a website. You know?
Like some sort of ideology? Is that what you're pitching?
And scene. Dude, we crushed it. That was perfect. I see what you did. It was like, I really did feel like my eyebrow is bleeding, though. It is. But I did cut, and I wasn't shaping them. I was just, I don't even know. I had a cut. Living the life, man.
I started over the
I'm ready to bleed for this comedy. They don't even.
the part that's good is that it's recorded and not live. So if it's going to be cut up, like I started over the I worked at a pawn shop when you questioned the reality of that statement and the randomness of me bringing it up when it's literally the first word on the list.
You did it, and like, yeah, I just started reworking words because I said flip the bird, and then I mentioned birds. I was like, I'm just gonna do like double things because I was like, let's show our skill sets. And then I was like, I'm actually just bleeding. You know, but I think people will get it. They'll be like, oh, it's still bad, but like at least I can enjoy it and in my own time instead of like having to show up to something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Should you put the list of things that we were
Did they not see it when I shared the screen?
Well, I mean, yeah, it popped up at the start, but I was thinking maybe somehow put it up
at the bottom, like edit it in.
Yeah, or something. I don't know, maybe.
Oh God. I guess.
Because they're definitely not going to remember. Like, I panicked briefly when I didn't pull up the chat at the start, and I was already into talking about Rob, and I didn't know what else the fuck was on the list.
That's true. You also said like the first three and like the first two sentences. I was like, interesting. But we did it. I felt like it came together well. Like once I said leftovers, I was like, that was like the equivalent of like my dad hugging me again. You know, yeah. I was like, we did it.
You gotta set the somehow you gotta set like a.
I love the fucking verbal back padding we're doing for ourselves. The most ultimate pussy fucking improv thing to do.
Oh, all of this will be edited out.
All of this? Yeah, no, this is actually how the episode starts. Is us just being like love is just us loving
and we don't even show what we're talking about. Yeah. It's always we don't actually show those parts. That's what
we edit it out. It's like the Larry Sanders show.
Yeah.
You never see the actual improv. Exactly. And it starts with us just talking about like mental health. People are like, "What the fuck, Chris Gethard?"
And then we can show the list of things at some point of words that we talked about, just so that when we're talking about it after the fact, they never saw it, but we're like that part where you talked about leftovers, nailed it, like that.
You know what? That's the credits is the prompts.
Yeah.
Special thanks to Pawn, Rob, Teach, Leftovers, Bird, Infect, Base, Ideology, Photocopy, Reader. Yeah, I said it all right there because I am a fucking G and I.
Oh, I feel like I nailed it with the talk about my mom's place was home base.
Yeah. You know what I think we should, like, because we're still trying to find our voice as a show. I think we should never talk about the parts we nailed it ever again. I think we'll only be down on ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that part where I stuttered for a little bit because I actually cut a wound open. I hurt myself. I hated that.
I had no idea if that was real or not. I was scanning if there was eyeball eye cut on the list somewhere that I did not.
To be fair, I didn't when I was like, is this it? And then you just kept going and I was like, oh.
And then you went with the infected and I was like, okay, he's on the list.
I'm not going in order. I don't even do that when I write a set list on my hand. Why the fuck would I do it with you? That's just a list. It's a list of things to do. I don't go in the order in the grocery store. I remember things when I want to do it. That's the thing too, is like I was doing a character like Dave Piss on stage and I had like a DJ and he was like, the first time we did a set together, he was like, I'm winging it, but then it's like, oh, we have to like do it again now. And then it's like, okay. And then the second time he's like, hey, you didn't do any of these things like the same. And I'm like, oh, that's just something you need to know about me. If I don't feel like doing it, I don't do it like that. So like, you just have to like, kind of like know how the fuck I'm going to react. And he's like, how do I do that? I'm like, you don't. And then I'm like, see ya. Like, because that's how my process works is I pace and then I come and go, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. And then I have a very vague thing. This might sound familiar to you. And then you hear nothing from me for like 8 hours. And then I'm like, here's more of a more thought out plan about ensuing this, because I've just been manic for the past 8 hours but like plotting it, and I'm like, this is how we'll do it. Then I get depressed, and then I'm like, I don't care about that thing I wanted to do. And sometimes I still do want to care. I still do care, like this, and then I do it. And usually, as many people in my support system might say, is not usually the best use of my time. But look at them now. I'm drinking fucking water. What do you want?
Yeah, right.
Super fucking hydrated. And we're like going there. So we're like we're getting the content, we're getting it all. And who knows? Maybe Tyler's on another phone call right now, you know? That's how I know we're doing well. You're just on a website at this point.
I was double checking what time we're all grieving the loss.
Oh, right. We decided we might go to a storytelling show. That is another thing. What time is the storytelling show at? It is 7:07 p.m. Central.
It's 50 minutes from now.
Okay. I don't foresee this being 50 more minutes.
No.
I don't foresee this ending right this second, but
right.
Okay.
I was just double checking that I wasn't misremembering.
So what is it? We're going to and we have friends on the show, so I don't want to actually talk shit about it necessarily, but it's like we're going to a storytelling show. It's supposed to be what? Comedy about grief. That's a honestly, I mean, like, and I say this with like just sincerity, with no like malice behind it. That is a fucking tough fucking thing to arc an entire comedy show behind.
Yep.
I come from a place of interest.
I mean,
I think a lot of I'm not saying this is this, but it makes me think of another like thing in comedy, and that's like the brand new comedian that tackles like huge world topics like immediately.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it? There's a meme that's like that like does it so perfectly, and I hate to be like, there's a meme that describes everything so perfectly, but it really is. It's like a guy on stage, and it's like a 2-frame, and he's like, "Hey guys, how you doing? This is my first time on stage," and then he just goes, "Anyways, this is how I feel about rape," and it's just like that's the whole meme, and I'm like, yeah, that's comedy. This is comedy now.
Oh fuck! That's
you can't fucking do it. And then I'm like 10 after this.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Because I don't play PlayStation with the fucking host. I'm like, I'm almost 40. No.
I was waiting for a break to jump in, and assuming that you weren't going to somehow bring up Foster also, like go through all of them. I was waiting on Foster.
I was having fucking trouble articulating what I was trying to say. You know, sometimes when you have these ideas in your fucking head and you're trying to convert them into like doing a physical scene, it's fucking tough, dude. Like,
we had no central concept at the start of even how to do this whole overall show.
There's no visual to the show, and that's the fucking point. Is I don't want to like. At any point, I could like just fucking like. We could be doing a scene, or like I could go grab my fucking keyboard and be playing the piano, or like we're just I don't know. Like right now we're just like discreet and just fucking recording it privately, and I'm trying to just have like an optimistic attitude about it.
We are a couple of viable options to build a goddamn successful franchise, okay? Like I need you to fucking focus, and we will occupy the improv community.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just do that from now on, you know?
Or we could just be discreet about it. I don't know. I felt like we got to fucking dive in and take it over. That's supposed to be the attitude that we should have. But I mean, if you want to hold us back and just not make it sad or whatever, then I mean, yeah.
I'm trying to just make sure. I don't want a franchise. I just want it to be, like you said, a viable, central fucking.
I feel like you're trying to convert me to something I'm not.
No, I'm just trying to articulate the actual good idea.
Well, you're not being very discreet about it. I mean, all I'm hearing is ding, 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 like on a fucking piano key. Like it sounds like a cat playing the piano right now is what I'm hearing.
I wish you would be in musical terms fucking piano as in quiet so I can fucking you know, think about how I'm gonna edit out Kirk's foster home for imaginary children.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like we've occupied plenty of time on this sketch already.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I was actually like, not to just end the scene, but like, remember Occupy Wall Street? So close. So close.
I only, like, I'm not dumb, but I'm also not smart enough to remember that for anything other than the name alone.
Yeah. Well, I remember being like in New York when that was happening, and I was just like smoking weed next to it. Like,
I remember caring the exact same amount about it at the time as I do right now in this exact second.
That's true. You know what? Yeah, that's true, because they didn't have crypto back then.
Yeah, never forget.
Fuck, I think we just figured it all out. We just were like, oh. Anyways, that's cool. I think that's how we'll do it. That's definitely the more viable way to do improv.
I mean, now we're just kind of back to kissing our asses over the performance again. So, I mean,
well, we're gonna have to
full circle
so poorly immediately after doing so okay.
It's come full circle. I mean,
yeah, because I was like, because in my mind, I was like, we would just riff and then we would like, let's do a sketch. Like there'd be a clear divide, obviously, but no.
All I remember, and I mean, I'm sure we can check back to the tape, is when you were screaming at me to not make it sad, like over and over again for
over and over.
What felt like 10
I interjected with some.
It felt like 10 minutes of that's what I remember. We can check the tape. But,
I remember the part where I was like, why do you have to be so stupid? You make me do this to you.
Oh, that must have been where the Zoom froze for a little bit. And I just like started playing the piano again off to the side here, waiting for your internet to stabilize itself.
Well, I was having a little bit of an attitude. I can admit that.
Oh my God. Is any of this even viable?
Yeah, I mean, no, but yeah, for sure.
Oh, you ready to really get sad? And I'm not talking death pool at an orphanage sad. I'm talking about grieving for comedy. Or wait, that's not what it is. It's grief and comedy.
I know when I go to comedy, especially
I bring extra tissues in case
I like it when it's like, you know, in a basement and there's a 2-drink minimum. And people are like, are you here to laugh? And I'm like, I'm here to learn coping skills, actually.
I mean, I just feel like the saddest part at any comedy show should be when they hand you the tab for your overpriced drinks, not during the actual comedy.
I agree with that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, like, after a comedy show, before you're allowed to leave, you should have to write up a poem. Like a haiku.
A haiku.
About how do you feel?
What if that's how we just had to end every one of these shows with two individuals?
I used to do poetry, so no. You ever do? Yeah, dude. Do you think comedy's brutal? Imagine going.
I've never questioned our comedy relationship more than after I heard you utter those 4 words. I used to write poetry.
Well, I learned a lot of things today. That you won't do character work on this show. We do it in regular improv. How the fuck was I supposed to know?
Characters are where it's at.
Yeah. Well, we know. I can't wait because I'm gonna edit it out, and everyone's just gonna be like, "What the fuck happened?" And then I'm just like, "We just fucked up." We were 1 minute into a sketch, and I just said something, and it fucking just was. It wasn't funny, and no one, and we were like, let's just stop. Fuck that. The words also. sucked ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've noticed that with this word generator. One time it was like 3 words were like racism, segregation, and then it was like
I thought the first
I'm like, wait, what?
set of 10 was okay.
Yeah.
But what was it? The second one. What? I mean, you had a good start for the pool index and hang.
I know. This is even better.
Just if it had been done,
Then we keep dwelling on a thing that we edited.
If it had been done in a thick Italian accent, I would have known.
Is it because my accent? I should have chose something more racist, or no? No, I'm fucking over it. But because I have a hot update right now. I just got message from the Zoom that we left fucking 56 minutes ago. Hold on. Fucking I'm trying to get my random word generator. I had to close it because that was my Facebook that like dinged and stuff. So
oh my god, has it currently blossomed into a pop-up mic with 20 plus performers at it like they used to be back in the day?
okay, he wrote me like a really nice thing. I don't even know if I'm supposed to like read this out loud, but like he's saying like we talked to our hero today, our comedian. We went to his pop-up mic, Tyler, and he's been doing a lot of like pop-up things. I mean, like I have a comedy festival that we do at random rest stops once a year, and that's as like ballsy as I can get it. But this motherfucker has been like going into Staples, standing on top of his car.
Tyler will stand on top of his car in the rain with an umbrella and do comedy. Whereas I feel
dedicated soldier.
I feel like any more than a 20% chance of rain and fest stops canceled. Like I feel like that would happen immediately. So yeah. Tyler with an umbrella in the rain is where and what comedy should and currently is.
He's saying a lot of nice things, but he's also saying a lot of things. He has sent me 3 very long text messages, but basically saying he plans on doing a lot more new things. And he was like, "You're right. I should have my friend be my cameraman." And I'm like, I'm glad I can keep giving you good ideas, Tyler. I'm very glad that you're taking everything I'm saying with 0 grains of salt. Good for you, dude. You are.
I feel like like if he has a mobile camera, man, I mean, that's ultimately just begging for walk around crowd work to be done somewhere.
I didn't say like it's good to have a cameraman. I said it's good to have a friend there with you, like to know when someone's coming.
Oh no, I remember when he
definitely not like so. No, like it's good to have a cameraman.
I remember when you specifically told him. He said the name of his friend, and you just said cameraman. Like you were like, call him cameraman right now, and you started making Tyler call his friend.
Yeah, I was like, he has nothing. These are not people. They are nothing
but a cameraman. And that's only if you let him move. If you chain him up and he stands in place, you call him tripod. Like
I like my PAs to be like have like no bones, like veal, like they can't even walk because they've never been able to allowed to be stand up. They're in front of a coffee machine, and then they just hand it to me, and I'm like, think that's good? I go, you know who the fuck I am? I won a fucking contest in New England one time. Show some respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Are we gonna go right from
was it a bartending contest?
What
kind of contest did you win? Was it a bartending contest, like a best margarita in the
yeah, I won. Well, I mean,
the New England.
I've won
best
so
New
many
England margarita.
I've won so many $50 gift cards in my life doing comedy, but I've won, let's see, Southern Rhode Island's second best juggler while pissing, and that's hard. The guy that won was also on a unicycle, so I mean, I'm not like just going against like any other dipshit. You know, that's Tony Unicycle. Show some fucking respect. Anyways, so like I won that, and then I was like, I won in Massachusetts. There's a really big contest. So you think you're a better dancer than a second grader? I won that one, and I had to audition for that a lot. And they were like, "Are you in second grade?" And I was like, "My name is Brian," you know, and these are my. And so you know, there's a lot of that, and then recently, Nebraska. What?
Have you used those as part of your credits when you've sent the submission tapes to the local Lincoln grocery stores and Omaha grocery stores to book you for performances?
I'm not legally allowed to do comedy at a grocery store anymore. It's something going on currently. That's why I've been having to send people like Tyler and camera people in my stead. More as like delegates. I didn't want to say too much, but he's sort of creating like a biopic, sort of like mockumentary, documentary, homage. And I was like, that's very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So maybe I'm gonna take a piss and then let's do one more thing and then we can go grieve.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going great. Perfectly. This is perfect.
Yeah, I'm going to piss also. I'll be a little slower getting back as a cripple. Ugh. Oh. Oh.
Holy shit. My friend posted a fucking picture, or not even picture, a video. He's like doing actually pretty cool tricks, but like with a tech deck, you know, like the finger skateboard thing. Like that stupid shit. I'm just you think everyone's ever had one of those that like kickflip, like fingered someone? Like right? That'd be fucking funny. All right, hold on. Let's fucking end this with a banger. This is it. This is the fucking banger. We'll fucking do it. Ugh. But dude, seriously, I'm so glad I set up this studio and not. I'm just glad. I'm glad I just started calling my living room a studio. Is what it really is. That I could just like all the people that I was just having beefs with here, I could just squash all that shit and just like not chase my dreams, but just like ensure that I'm doing the fucking things I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Because there is no fucking comedy scene here or fucking anywhere that I want to participate in other than like the scene that's like me or like my friends. Because that's what it comes down to. Like, I don't want there to be any fucking confusions. I just want to be mature about the situation. And yeah, that's really what it is.
I mean, but you're gonna have to get a separate license to serve food, right? Which is
For
your
what?
only
Oh,
at the
this is
venue.
like a venue?
Yeah.
No, there's cottage law in Connecticut. I don't live in Connecticut. In Nebraska. Sorry. It's still, I have to remind myself I live in Nebraska daily. It's only been a year. Who's
I mean,
counting?
regardless of where you live, cottage law sounds fictional.
It does sound fictional. The cottage law is literally that you can just make food in your house and start selling it, and like that's it. Like I can just start cooking. The rule, like the one thing is I can't have chocolate in it.
Cottage law sounds fictional or British. It sounds like David Parsons grew up somewhere where they practice cottage law. Yeah.
I understand the sentiment, but the point is that's it. Those are all the words. That's it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Same.
Scene and scene. I get it. I get it now. We found our voice all in one. I love it. And we made up for the time that we lost, the 8 seconds that we lost by editing out nothing.
Exactly.
So it will be good. It will be good. So how do we end this thing though? Do you have any plugs? Do you have any thoughts, comments, questions? I think like doing Tommy's should definitely be a segment or any like sets that we can record. But we just did Tommy's yesterday because it's like the worst fucking mic, but we thrive there for some. I love how they're always like, this is how it's done. And then we just like don't do it. But like, I think that's why I was kind of like, let's just start rolling with it again. But yeah, we'll edit that shit in and stuff. But like, fuck, do we have like a bit we can end on, a segment? Do you have any plugs?
DJ K rap on
You have a bunch of million fucking albums for sale. You make beats.
Bandcamp. Yeah.
You've been remixing comedians and making albums with that. It's some pretty like crazy shit. If you like stand-up comedy with the fucking vibe of like girl talk, like, and I don't mean like gossip, I mean like that mashup artist from like the early 2000s that I still bang when I'm fucking high as fuck. That's the fucking vibe. DJ K rap. Don't let the fucking spelling fool you. Or the fact that we're called Second Shitty.
Yeah.
And I don't do anything. I sit on my couch and wear sweatpants. This is all I have left. So if this doesn't work, I won't kill myself. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that anymore. I can't make jokes about that. So I'm too. I just been saying everything's super chill. That's the new saying in the house. Super chill. Everything's mad chill. Using the word chill wrong is the vibe at the vibe couch. But I'm really excited to learn how to grief. To grief. I'm really excited to learn how to say it and then learn how to do it.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how we're gonna get the link to that one.
Well, I always like the things I can like in my like stream of ideas. You really say no to something. I remember I was like, what if we trolled this Walking Dead video game that's also like a Facebook live stream? And then I was like, here's the game. And then I was like, we'll check it out next week. And then I kept never having time on like Mondays, I think it was. And you ended up just getting addicted to the game. So like your commitment is, off the chains.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think that's what we can, expect from future things of just our hangs and improv recording. So I don't know what the fuck I'm putting this on yet, and that's how I've been ending all of the This Is Comedy Nows, but I'm putting it all on some sort of like thing together, and that's it. So whatever that's figured out, check it out. But they already must have, because that's it. So keep checking it out, and we'll keep recording these, and they'll maybe get better, but they'll at least be this good.
Did we ever get topics from the audience
tonight?
Yeah.
Guys, thank you guys again. Make sure you like, us on Facebook. Do we care about that? No, right? We couldn't even.
I don't have Facebook. I
Huh?
left that since I started following and created a controversial character named Sneaky Plum.
Sneaky Plum. Okay. Make sure you fucking like and subscribe this fucking Fruit of the Loom Amber Alert he's got going on. Other than that, we'll just make more of these and they'll be great. We did it.